So I'm Sylvia Dana with EXP Realty and the Sylvia System. And what we're going to talk about today on this webinar is how to leverage kvCore on Facebook. I get this question all the time. And so those of you joining me today, you're interested in, what can I do with Facebook and how can I use kvCore on Facebook? And that's what we're going to talk about. What I'd love to know is whether or not you have a Facebook business page active as a realtor, not a personal profile, but a Facebook business page. The next question I have for you, if you do have a Facebook business page, are you posting kvCore squeeze pages to it on a regular basis? Yes or no? And if you are you also boosting them? Next question, is anybody paying kvCore for Property Boost or any other lead source from kvCore? I'm going to guess that unless my team has set up your kvCore with the Presto kvCore setup package, you do not have a Facebook buyer campaign. Do you have a special custom campaign for Facebook leads? Yes or no? So let's go. Are you ready? We're going to first just talk about setting up your Facebook business page for success. And there's a lot of confusion on Facebook. And for those of you that are real familiar with Facebook business pages, I'm sorry, but I do want to make sure I just address a couple things about Facebook business pages. Okay, so this is just my regular profile, but I want to go look at my feed. So I think I click Facebook here. Okay, so this is sort of my feed. And I've got several business pages, but let's go to my primary realtor business page. And as you can see, I look at this as an admin. So this morning, I even got a question this morning like, hey, here's my Facebook URL and I know how to post that. But I don't want people to be able to edit and go into my page to edit my business page if I post this link, on my kvCore website, for example. And I'm like, no, they're not going to be able to do that. You can see your own Facebook business page as an admin because you are the admin of your page. And so you're going to be able to create posts and edit settings and do all that jazz. Anybody else who's not an admin is just going to see your page like a consumer would. The other thing I did want to mention that I alluded to is your Facebook URL. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know what my URL is. Well, up here in your browser, it's what you call a URL window. And whatever your Facebook business page URL is, you click in it here so that you can see the full one. So your URL doesn't start with www, okay? And it doesn't start with Facebook. Your URL always starts with something like https://. That's your full URL. Okay, and that's the link that you would share. So those of you who do have kvCore and in your kvCore agent profile section, where you can put your social media links, you would post this full URL. So those are two things that I wanted to mention. The other thing I wanted to mention is when you create a Facebook business page, for those of you that haven't done it, all you're going to do is you're going to go to your own profile. When you click back on the feed, you will see where it says pages, or it'll say create a page, and then you'll click create a new page. So that's just getting, familiar. Let's go look at first my page as an admin. I've got a couple different pages and I don't have a ton of likes and stuff like that, but I don't worry about that because I boost enough. But some people have real big followings and that's great. But you have to have a Facebook business page. Why? Well, because it's going to help people find you, and people want to be able to find you. If you meet somebody at the movies and you're in line and you mention that you're a realtor, and maybe they just know your first name only. If they put in your first name, realtor, you want to be able to come up. In fact, I got a date that way once. I went to the movies and I went by myself, and a guy also went to the movies and he went by himself. And we were sitting right next to each other. We had a great conversation. All he knew about me is that my name is Sylvia and that I was a realtor. That was it. He didn't know my company. He didn't know my last name. He didn't know anything, but he went to Google and he put in my first name and realtor. And guess what? He found me because I'm online. So you want to get found, whether you want to sell houses or get a date. Okay. So if you type in my name into Google, and you can try this, you can type in my name on your Google and see how I come up. My EXP Realty website comes up because I do have an ad running. So that helps you to come first. If you have a Google ad running, that's one way to get found. And this is not a full SEO class, but this is a little intro. And I will just mention you do have to have a Google My Business page, but we're talking about Facebook today. So I just want to show you the third option that comes up is my Facebook business page. And your Facebook business page, if you don't have a lot of other website activity going on, your Facebook business page will serve you well. So you definitely want to be found. Okay. And that's one major reason why you want a Facebook business page. On your Facebook business page, you're going to want to have a cover, and maybe I need to actually update mine, update it now and then, update your profile picture now and then. And there's a couple key things about how you're going to create your page or name your page. I'm going to recommend you just always put your name and realtor, just like I have. Why? Because when people search you, that's how they're going to search you. They're going to search you by your name and realtor or real estate agent. And so I have my category as real estate agent. So when you create your page, it'll ask you for a category. It'll say real estate agency or real estate agent. I put real estate agent. Okay. So that's key. Now, why? Well, first of all, if you're an EXP, our branding rules are that you cannot have EXP Realty in your social media profile name. Did you know that? You also can't have it in an email address. Like you can't be sylvia@exprealty@gmail.com. However, you can have sylvia.dana@exprealty.com. You also can't have expagent.com as a website. All right, so we have certain branding guidelines. And your brokerage, if you're not with EXP, you will also have certain branding guidelines of what is allowed when it comes to using your brokerage's name. I also, am an EXP agent. I'm brokered by EXP, so I need to say that somewhere. And I also have my state laws to follow. So my state laws require that I say that who I'm brokered by. So in my description, I say Sylvia Dana is an EXP Realty agent. Or I could say I'm brokered by EXP. I'm also required in my state to have my broker address or phone number. So I put that right in the description, right at the top, that it can be seen when somebody just looks for information about this real estate agent. All my compliant information is right there at the top. Okay. Now, some of you, if you're in Texas, you would want your IABS information about broker services stuff, maybe a link to your Google Doc for your IABS and consumer protection information. You could have that right there. And you can also create a pinned post at the top that has that information in there to stay compliant. The other thing that you want to make sure you do, I'm going to go here to edit page info, and you'll notice that I've got my username, Sylvia D Team. You can come up with a username. Now, sometimes Facebook is silly and won't let you create a username right away. Sometimes it'll require certain likes, but just keep trying it now and then till it lets you. Remember, I was talking about earlier, you should not have like Sylvia Dana EXP Realty agent because of branding guidelines. But the other reason you don't want to do that, not that you would ever leave EXP Realty if you're with EXP, because God forbid, but if you did, sometimes it can be difficult to change the name. I just worked with a team, a husband and wife team, and they had a Facebook business page that had their previous brokerage's name in the title, in the name of the page. And they had 600 likes, more than 600 likes. And we tried and tried and tried and tried to change the name of their page. Because now they weren't with that brokerage, and they wanted it to be different. And plus, I think their previous brokerage was kind of giving them a hard time about still having that brokerage name on their page. We could not change it. I mean, it didn't matter how many times we appealed on Facebook for declining a request to change it. It didn't matter what different types of names we didn't change it. Didn't matter if we were trying to merge the pages. It didn't matter because it just wouldn't let us. If I can just implore you to not put your agency, your brokerage name in your Facebook page, that would be great, because these people had to start over from scratch. You don't want to have to do that. So just do what I say. All right. And then in the description, put all your compliant information. I mean, you just need one sentence about who you are, where you serve, and who you're brokered by, and then any other compliant information you need. Okay. And then category real estate agent. Then your contact information, you can put whatever phone number you want people to call. Now, if you're using kvCore, if you have a smart number that you're paying for, I don't recommend that you put that smart number in here. If you have a smart number that you don't pay for, definitely don't put the kvCore smart number in here. And that's for another time, but don't put the kvCore smart number in here either way. Why? Because if a title company finds you, or a lender finds you, or a long lost friend finds you and calls that number, they're going to come in as a new buyer lead on your kvCore. So I don't promote that number outside of kvCore because I don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry that calls me to become a new buyer lead on my website. Okay. All right. So that's that. Put an email, your business email, and whatever website you want people to go to. I do put my EXP Realty website there. The more links you can have to your kvCore EXP Realty website, the more links you can have where people can search homes, gets their instant home value. The more links you can have, the better you're going to rank with SEO. Location, you can have an address. You could have just a zip code like I do. You can have a full business address, and then you want to put service areas. You can put up to 10, and they can be cities or counties. You can put up to 10, and that's real important as well for people to find you. And then finally, hours, I just put always open and operating as usual. And then you can put more stuff here if you need to. Okay. And there's a QR code and Wi-Fi and blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So you definitely want to have that all set up and saved. All right. So that's one way to get your business page set up for success. Now there's another thing, and I cannot spend much more time on this. But another thing that you do want to do is you want to go into your settings, and let's see if I can remember how to find it. And you're going to go to messaging. And in messaging, you're going to visit all the settings for messaging. You can go to automated responses under general settings, and you can put in your frequently asked questions. You can put on an instant reply. So if somebody messages you, there's an instant reply. So this is my instant reply. You can edit your message here. So that's one thing to do that can help. And then your frequently asked questions. So I have somewhere, where are they? Maybe I don't have them. I think I do though. Interesting. I'm going to show you examples here. I don't know what's happening here. I love when my stuff doesn't show up when I'm training, but I'm going to show you in a different way. Frequently asked questions. What you can do here is you can set up like 3 frequently asked questions. Like, how do I get pre-approved? How do I contact you directly? What's my home worth? Can you send me property listings? And you can create these questions and then give automatic responses with lead generating links to kvCore. So I'm going to show you an example. So this is a real estate agent business page we set up. We set up Joelle. We actually, because I do kvCore setups, I do WordPress setups. I have a team, but because I sell real estate, so I'm very busy. But we set up her Facebook business page too. Remember the frequently asked questions? We set up these for her. I have a question about a property. What's my home worth? How do I get pre-approved for a home mortgage? So when we click ask, it will give you automatically a response. So we say, great, what property address do you have a question about? And how can I help? And so they can respond, or they can just click on search properties, and it's going to take the person to her EXP website. So that's how the frequently asked questions work. And they're pretty cool. The other thing that we did for her, that we do in the Facebook setups, is you can, in your Facebook business page, you can create a customer chat widget. and it gives you code, and then you can put that code on your kvCore website in the website settings so that you can have this little guy pop up. So see, it says chat with Joelle. So I can continue as Sylvia because I'm already logged in as myself from my computer. So it's real easy to do. And then whenever it decides to work, it's gonna give me that automated greeting. Now I actually got a listing from this. Like, this little thing on my website has really never done anything for me that I know of, except for one time that I know of. And I'll show you on my website because that one's taking too long. And it is this. So here's my website, my kvCore website. This is the greeting. Hi, I'm happy to answer your real estate questions. How can I help? You can continue as Sylvia. And then it gives, hi there, thanks for reaching out. I'm happy to help with your real estate questions. For the fastest response, call or text me. Somebody called, they came to my website and they saw that, and guess what? They just called me. They just called me and said, hey, I think we want to list our house. And that was the one time I know it helped me. So, and to me, that's worth it. All right. Maybe it'll never help me again, but cool. All right. Those are super cool. I get a lot of questions. How do I do that? That's how you do it. You build the frequently asked questions. All right. So let's go over some more things. On your cover, your information about like who you are, your logo, any key information should be in this general area on your Facebook cover. Why? Because if you were to share your Facebook business page, this is the area that shows in the little previews. So that's a little tip for you. In addition, when you create your business page, there you have the option to put a button there. I put my button as learn more, so people go right to my kvCore website. I don't want to get calls, and I don't want to get messages from Facebook. So I try to just direct people to my website. Although my phone number is there if somebody really wanted to call me. So now you can see with Joelle's website, when we set up her Facebook business page, we set it up. So for the next 30 days after we did the setup, she would have automatic posts on her website. And so we do a variety of posts, 30 days of posts. And one is a market report. So it just simply says free county market report here. Register for your free monthly report now. And then people can click on it and it's going to take them to get their monthly report. Then we have a reduced property list, like lists of properties. Emojis really help you guys. I don't know why, but it helps. Open house lists for the weekend and just listed, get your instant home value. New construction list. And then we rotate it. We did that for Joelle, and Joelle liked it so much. She said, some of her friends said, wow, Joelle, you're really posting a lot on your Facebook business page. It looks like you're doing really well. And so Joelle's like, can you keep doing that like forever? So we worked out a deal where we're doing that for her forever. But you can do it, because all you have to do is you sit down once a month and schedule out the posts. There's a lot of other things you can do with your Facebook business page before I end this segment. And one of them is videos. If you could, even just once a week, just do a Facebook Live video from your business page to talk a little bit about the market, to introduce yourself, to tell people what you're learning about the real estate market right now, how you just got an offer accepted, how you just help somebody list their house, how you ran an open house or whatever. Being out in the community, like at a volunteer event, we're at a new restaurant and you're promoting the restaurant. Facebook Live videos just once a week. We talked a little bit about how to set up your Facebook business page for success, but now we have to talk about squeeze pages. So let's get to it and posting them. All right. So what is a squeeze page? A squeeze page is a link from your website to drive people back to your website. That you're going to post this link out on the interwebs. So somebody had mentioned, like, I've created like 30 squeeze pages. Cool, but now you got to post them places. Let's do two things. Here's my kvCore dashboard. I am going to go to also my website, my kvCore website. The first thing that we could say is, well, if somebody just goes to search properties and they click on search and they start searching properties, is that a squeeze page? Yes and no. So let's go. I have these custom widgets here, which we also do for kvCore setups if you want those, but you can learn how to do them yourself if you know code. But I just clicked on my new construction link that's on a custom widget on the front of my website. And it's showing me these new construction options. So let's find one here. I'm going to open up this one. This is a link. This is a listing link. So it is just a link to my website. I could take this link, this URL link, and I could post this link, and people could click on it and they could see this property. And if they look at enough pictures, I might generate a lead. Who knows? You can, first person to put it in the chat wins. Who knows if I just post a link like this, just a link to a property on my website, and I promote it on somewhere like Facebook, and somebody clicks on it and they've never registered on my website before. Who knows how and when they are going to be forced to register? Yeah, okay. So it's supposedly the second photo. Sometimes it's a little more, it's changed a couple times. So Brian said, isn't it after two properties viewed? It's actually after two property views, this link. This is not a real squeeze page. Yes, it could generate a lead, but a squeeze page, a true squeeze page, when we're thinking about kvCore terms, a squeeze page gives kvCore instructions about what to do with the lead. That's what a squeeze page is. So could I take this link and post it and possibly generate a lead? Yes, but kvCore will know what to do with the lead if you give it instructions in a squeeze page. So let's do a squeeze page. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a listing to promote, all right? That's my favorite kind of way to get leads. Yes, you can do a market report squeeze page. Yes, you can do a seller squeeze page, which works actually pretty good on Google, by the way. If you wanted to throw $100 a month at a Google ad for what's my home worth in your city, that's not a bad way to spend your money, but they don't work great on Facebook. Market reports are okay, but they don't work great. Lists of properties are okay, but they don't work great, in my opinion, for generating leads. What I get the most from Facebook is leads from single property squeeze pages. So that's what we're going to do. So the first I want to do is find a listing to promote. I currently don't have any more of my active listings. I just closed on my last, and I have 3 listings I'm going to be listing in the next couple of weeks, but they are not up yet. So I'm going to find somebody else's listing to promote. So you'll need to know what your own state laws are, not what your broker's opinion is, but what your state laws are about what you can do to promote other people's listings. In our brokerage, you should, doesn't matter what other people's opinions are, in my humble opinion, you should be able to promote any other EXP agents listings or whatever brokerage you're in, because the brokerage owns those listings. You don't want to be shady and pretend it's your listing though. So, I mean, you could say, hey, call me to schedule a private showing, and this is listed by a colleague here at EXP Realty, or whatever you want to do. So I like to do that in my messaging. In Michigan, and a lot of states are like Michigan, not all, but in Michigan, I can promote any other brokerage's listing that I want to, as long as I mention who the listing brokerage is in the post or ad, whether it's a Craigslist post, a Facebook post, whatever. So I'm going to look for a listing here. And this is Juanita Buscard. And I am gonna, it's not pending. So when I open up the listing, I can see it's not pending yet. And it's probably a brand new listing. I click on this link, it's gonna go to a link on my website, so I can learn about the listing a little bit. Oh, there's an open house. That's good, July 29th. It's July 27th. I can promote that as an open house. And I wanna look at the pictures. And this gives me a little chance to give some more training here. One thing Juanita wasn't great at is when she uploaded her pictures to the MLS, she did a boo-boo, in my opinion. And that is, these first 3 pictures are all of the outside of the house. Who knows why this is a problem? They are select pictures that come up in advertising. Right. You're right. I think, Tom, that was you. So your first handful of pictures, like let's call it the first 5 pictures, you want to be the most interesting, unique, Nicole, only 2 pics before you have to register, and they may lose interest if the pics are the same. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that, Nicole. But what I was thinking, actually, even though those are great points, I was thinking what Tom said is when you have a lot of advertised like marketing, like you're creating like an open house flyer, like an automatic open house flyer that they have usually like on the MLS or even our EXP Marketing Center. It's going to automatically choose the first few pictures. And if the first few pictures are like the same, that's really boring and uninteresting and not great promotion. So remember, if you're a new agent or someone who just didn't realize this, when you upload your listing, make sure the first 5 are the most dynamic, unique, interesting pictures that tell the story of the house in the first 5 photos, and then do the rest of the pictures. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to learn about this house. There's an open house coming up. 5 bedroom, 2 full, 1 bath and 1.5 bath. That's awesome. 3.7 acres. That's awesome. Granville Schools, nice. Okay, so I am going to promote this listing. How am I going to do that? Step 1, I'm going to just grab this listing ID, and I'm going to go back to kvCore. And I am going to go here to lead engine, build a squeeze page. And I've got IDX squeeze pages, single property squeeze pages, seller squeeze pages, and market reports. I'm going to go to single property. And then I can either enter the address or the listing ID. So I just pasted the listing ID in there and it pops up, boom. And there it is. Okay. Next, I'm going to choose a source. Now, why do I want to do this? For business analytics, you want to be able to, over time, see where are a lot of leads that you're getting coming from. Are they coming from Facebook posts? Are they coming from LinkedIn posts? Are they coming from your Google My Business page? Where are they coming from? So this is source. If you don't want to mess with that or worry about that, you could just write the word general. Okay. But we're talking about Facebook. So I'm going to put FB for my little code for Facebook. And then I like to do a hashtag, a couple different hashtags. When we're talking about hashtags in kvCore and building squeeze pages, we are not talking about like social media hashtags. We're not going to include hashtags in this area like EXP Realty Proud or Open House or Grand Rapids Real Estate. Hashtag, hashtag, hustling. We're not going to, none of that. Those are social media hashtags that have their own purpose. The purpose of hashtags in kvCore is for categorizing your leads, identifying them, and possibly triggering a custom campaign. Who has any suggestions for me which hashtags I might want to put here? Property address. Yes, Denise, you're so smart. I'm going to go with the first right answer, which is property address. So yes, I'm going to put the hashtag of the property address. And the reason I want to do that, let's see, Old Farm Lane. The reason that I want to do that is because when the leads come in, I want to know what these people were interested in. Another little tip is I could press enter here just like it says, but that won't actually create the hashtag. I have to click on this and then the hashtag's created. The hashtag's created when it shows you this little button. You'll also notice that when I created the hashtag, I did not actually use the number sign, the hashtag sign, to create the hashtag. Okay, you don't do that. You don't use the number sign or the hashtag sign when you're creating the hashtag. You just write the hashtag, all one word. Okay. So what's nice about using this property address is if this were my own listing, then when I got a bunch of leads, all these leads, I could find them, I could identify them, and I could tell that group of leads, hey, you were interested in this property, but guess what? We just went under contract. If you're still interested in properties in this neighborhood, I'm going to continue to send you, ideas. Okay. The other thing that you can do is maybe the price will drop. The listing price will drop. And so you can say, hey, you were interested in this listing, and guess what? We just dropped the price $5,000. Who do you know who wants to purchase it? Or guess what? We were off the market, but now we're on the market. Or guess what? We just sold and I have a new listing in that neighborhood that you might be interested in. And here it is. So you can take that data using that hashtag and reach out to those people. The other thing I want to ask before I keep going is when I do generate a lead from the squeeze page, by default, what campaign will these people get and what else will happen? So let's say I'm going to be posting the squeeze page on Facebook. Okay. And I don't have any special hashtag that's going to trigger a custom campaign. But somebody looks at the property, they generate a lead. There's two things I want you to tell me what is going to happen automatically, maybe even three things. What are some things that are going to happen for that lead? How are they going to be contacted automatically by kvCore? I'm going to create a squeeze page. I'm going to take that link. I'm going to post this link, the squeeze page link on Facebook. Somebody's going to look at it. I'm going to generate a lead. And then what automatically is going to happen in response? What is kvCore going to do for me to help me convert that lead? If you have a default buyer campaign installed in your marketing autopilot and active, any new lead that looks at a new person registering on a website that's not registered on your website before with that email address, if they look at a property, they're going to automatically be called a new lead buyer and they're going to get the new lead buyer campaign. That's the first thing that's going to happen. And it's going to be a drip campaign. And what is a drip campaign? It's actions that happen after you get that lead. It's going to be automatic emails that go out at a certain time or text messages. If there's a phone number provided, they'll get a text message, and maybe actions for you. Okay, so that's, tasks like, hey, Sylvia, do this, call this person, friend this person on Facebook, whatever your tasks are that you've set up for yourself in your campaign. Okay. And will you get a text? Yes. If you've got it set up so that you're getting notifications every time you get a lead, then you'll be notified. And they'll be put automatically into your CRM. Yes. Yep. And then if the person provides their email and or phone number, it will be in there. Yes. Okay. Very good. A couple other things will happen that nobody mentioned. Based on the property that person looked at, they will, within about 48 hours, kvCore will create automatically search alert. So automatically kvCore will create other listings that are in that area that are around that price range that are the most similar that kvCore can find and start automatically sending daily listing alerts to that person. But it's going to take probably 24 to 48 hours to happen. Okay, it'll happen automatically. You can go in there and manually make it happen and change the search alert too, but automatically that will happen. And there's one more thing that will happen. Those are behavior alerts. That's when that lead starts doing things on your website. They come back to your website. They haven't been there for 2 weeks. They'll get an automatic text or email. That's not a campaign. Just like, hey, welcome back to the website. Anything I do for you? Okay. Or if they favored a property. Or if they look at the same property 5 times in a week, things like that, kvCore will do things automatically, and it does help. Okay, so that's that. All right, so that brings me to another hashtag. I do have a custom campaign, and that'll be the next thing we talk about. Is should you customize campaigns? But first, we're doing the posting boosting thing. But I do have a custom campaign. And those of you who got my setup or ever followed my instructions for creating a Facebook buyer campaign, you have this. And so I want my Facebook buyer campaign, which is a custom campaign that is directed towards Facebook buyer leads. I want that campaign to start. I want that campaign to start and not my other new buyer campaign. Okay, so I'm going to put in a hashtag Facebook buyer. And what is this going to do? This is going to, when the lead comes in and that hashtag is present, kvCore will know, whoops, hey, there's the Facebook buyer hashtag. That means I'm going to trigger the Facebook buyer campaign and I'm going to tell the other campaign not to run. Okay, so it's fancy. So why do I have that? We're going to get into that. Okay, next. Now this is super important. Ready? So important. Where it says property views allowed, don't leave it on 2. If you're saying, Sylvia, I want to get leads on Facebook, then trust me when I say put it on immediate. If you want to get leads on Facebook, put it on immediate property views. So in other words, people can't even look at what you posted unless you put it on immediate. They have to register in order to see it. Okay, that's what you want if you want to get leads. It's just a fact. So don't argue. All right. And then generate the link. Now it creates a long link and a short link. Is anything going to happen now because I created these links? Nope. I got to post the links on Facebook in order for anything to happen. Okay. But I have these links. If I leave this page and come back, I will lose this. So I got to save this link now somewhere. Maybe like I created a Google document, I've saved where I'm saving my links so I can reference them later if I want to. Otherwise, I just have to keep creating from scratch all the time, which is fine. So I'm just going to save this short link for now. And it's the same exact as the long link. And I'm going to show you what happens. I take this short link and I'm going to put it in the URL window here, paste. And then you will notice that this short link automatically converts to the long link. And the long link tells the story of the squeeze page, the domain, the MLS ID, my source, Facebook, and the hashtags that are added. It also says the timing. In other words, people have to immediately register. So that is the squeeze page, and it is giving kvCore directions on what to do with the lead when I get it. So this is the link that I'm going to take and I am going to post on Facebook. Okay. So we just created a squeeze page, but now I got to post it. So let's go to Facebook. Isn't this fun? Hope you guys are having fun. All right. There's a couple different things in here, depending on whether or not. So some of us, when we have Facebook business pages, we've updated or we've turned on a few permissions, and some of you might not have done it. But I have turned on Creator Studio in my Facebook business page. And so it allows me to create the post in Creator Studio right from here. Some of you might be used to, oops, I gotta turn this off here. I'm getting lots of, okay. Some of you might be used to just creating the post right here in Facebook like that. And I'm not going to recommend you do that. I'm going to recommend you do it in Creator Studio. Or if that's not available to you, you don't have that here, you're going to click on Publishing Tools. And it works the same way, essentially. Okay. So Publishing Tools or Creating Studio, either way. Okay. And from your Publishing Tools or Creator Studio, you're going to click on Create Post from here. All right. And now we are going to build our little post. And I'm going to stick my link in here and see if it previews correctly. And it might, there it goes. Okay. So it's working on it. There. It's previewing correctly, meaning the picture is there, the link's there, I'm good. If it doesn't work, like leave and come back and try again, because you want that picture to preview. Okay. The other thing you'll notice is it allows me to also post this on my Instagram business page. I'm not going to check that right now because this is a link and Instagram doesn't like links. It doesn't allow links in posts. So there's no point in me posting this on Instagram. So I'm just not going to check that box. Okay. From here, I can also customize my Facebook text. And if I was going to post on Instagram, also Instagram. But again, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and write the post. I'm going to do it right here in the Facebook text area. Facebook's always changing things and it always looks really different pretty much every time I get into it. So just go with it. All right. So before I go on, I see a little chat. You can, Stacy, you could, the short link could work fine too. It doesn't matter. Whatever, as long as the link previews, you're good. So if you take that short link and put it in there and it previews, great, it works. But sometimes it'll work better and I don't have to go back and get the long link because like, oh, the short link didn't work that time. It's just Facebook's weird. Okay. All right. What was the other text field on the left? Okay, so this is kind of interesting. It's the same.
Like I could write something. I could write something right here, and it's going to also go over here. Okay. They're the same. Why it's like this, I don't know. This little thing's new. This little layout right here where it has Facebook and Instagram is new. So I think what the idea is that you could do it here in text, and it's going to show up here, and then I could change it to be something different in Instagram. Okay. But so these are the same. But I'm just going to not add to confusion, I'm going to choose this one area for Facebook text and write something. All right. And what I like to write is I like to not just share this. That's not going to do anything for me. I have to provide emojis. I have to make it fun. I have to make it enticing. And I'm just going to say, wow, this awesome home has just been listed in Granville, I think it was. Oh, St. Joseph. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry. You guys, I did this wrong because I used the wrong hashtag, and I want to fix it. So hang on, because this is still here. I didn't get off of it yet. So let me fix my hashtag 1082926 Avenue Northwest. Okay. Boop. There, I'm better now. Now that I had to make a change, you guys, I need to generate a whole new link. Okay. So I generate a whole new link, and you'll notice it's different now in different hashtag. So that's good. That's good that I caught that, because I want the right hashtag to come in. I don't want that other address to come in. It was just a error on my part. So I'm going to fix that right now. There we go. Okay. Thanks for being patient. All right. Northwest Grand Rapids, Talmadge Township. Okay. Talmadge Township in Ottawa County. 5-bedroom. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of list some of the conveniences, but first I'm going to do some emojis, because people respond to emojis. You kind of have to do it if you want to get noticed on Facebook. Okay. And I'm just gonna, all right. So now I'm going to do bullet points of things about the property. So 5-bedroom, 5 beds. And then I'm going to copy this little emoji here. And I'm going to go, what was it? 2.5 bath. Let's see. I don't remember. Yeah, 2.5 bath, 2,400 square feet and 3.7 acres. That's pretty cool. 2,700 square feet, 3.7 acres. And I'm gonna, you can also do a space here, and that's, you can do more here. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna say, call me for a private showing. Okay, I was gonna say, follow the link. Follow the link to learn more and contact me for a private showing. I could also put my phone number in there, but I don't want that. I want people to click on the link. So some people want to put their phone numbers in there. That's fine. Do whatever, how you want to do. But now I have to be compliant, and I have to put what the listing brokerage is. So Buskard Group Real Estate. And so what I do here for my compliance in my state is listing, as I put in parentheses here, listing provided by Buskard Group Real Estate. All right. So that's my post, and I'm happy. Now from here, because I did it through publishing tools, I could actually schedule this post. Like if it was a time of day I didn't want it to go right now, it was late at night, I want it to go in the morning, I could schedule it, and I could schedule a bunch of posts out. Okay, so that's just beware. But I'm just going to go ahead and publish this now. So now it's published on my page. All right.
And, after some time, I can click on this to see like how people are responding and all that jazz. I can also do something else before I decide to boost it. And right now you'll notice I'm liking and commenting as myself, realtor. Let's say I wanted to share this on my personal profile. I can do that. How I would do that is I'd go here to the main page and choose like I want to interact as myself now. Okay. And then now that I'm interacting with myself, I could go ahead and share to my news feed, include original post, and I could post this to my personal page from my business page. Okay. I could also, maybe I'm a member of some different groups, like community groups in the area where I'm allowed to post just listed once in a while. And maybe I do other nice things in the group, like promote businesses too. So people think I'm nice, okay, or that I'm good. I'm not just trying to sell them stuff. And so I could post in there too. And I get a lot of free leads that way, you guys, by the way, like a ton, like too many. All right. But let's now talk about boosting it. I'm going to go to publishing tools. And you might have heard even recently, but especially a while ago, years ago, people said, oh, don't boost on Facebook. You want to create an ad. Okay. Well, that's a big pain in the ass and it's just really not necessary. And you'll do fine by boosting from here in this way. You have a lot of control. Facebook didn't used to give you as much control for boosting just right from the post like they do now. So I go back here to my publishing tools area and publish posts. I open it up and now I'm going to boost this baby. So if you know on kvCore, you could pay kvCore to boost do property boost for you. They'll charge you like $60 and you might get 12 leads, maybe 7. I don't know. Or you can do it yourself and get a lot more leads for much, much cheaper. So that's what I choose to do. So let's go through how to boost. So I clicked on boost here and it gives me this option. Let Facebook select the most relevant objective based on your settings. And I'm going to say, nope, I want to send people to my website. That's what I want. So I'm going to save. Then it gives you this button option. And I don't want people to send me messages on Facebook. I want them to click on the link and learn more. So I choose learn more. It's been doing this for me lately where it does this weird thing and it doesn't show me the actual post, but don't worry, it will work. Because I know the post is there and the post works. So whatever this is doing is weird. Facebook doesn't always work, just like kvCore doesn't always work, but whatever, we have it, it's free. Okay, you do have to choose special ad category of housing because you are a real estate agent and you're posting an ad from your Facebook business page. And so basically, I don't care really what you're advertising. It's probably going to make you do the special ad category of housing. I actually had a lost cat last year and he was found. I found him. It wouldn't let me, it kept rejecting the ad for me to help do an ad to post, help me find my lost cat. And so I had to choose the ad category of housing. So anyway, now when it does that, you can't choose like demographics, but you can choose area and interests. So I'm going to just go ahead and edit this. And instead of this property is actually in Talmadge Township in Ottawa County. I'm actually going to, it's near Allendale. I'm going to, since it's near Allendale, I'm going to choose the city of Allendale, Michigan. And it allows me to go 15 miles outside that radius. And that's a good radius for where I want it to be. So I'm happy with that. And I can go up to 50 miles. Okay. And I could choose other locations. Like if I wanted to promote this property to people in Chicago or California, I could. All right. Then you can do detail targeting for interests. The interests I choose are home improvement, house hunting, and Zillow. So you'll just click here. You'll just start typing those 3 in, and those 3 is what work for me. Okay. You can do whatever you want, but that's what works for me. And so that's what I have in there. And then it says my audience is defined and I'm going to save. And then
offers automatic placements. And this is fine. I'm going to let Facebook decide where they're going to place my ad because they know who I want to place it in front of. I want to place it in front of people who are in that area and have those interests. Okay. And I can decide on my budget. I can do $5 a day. I could do $10 a day or total budget. I just want to spend $5 on this only, no more. And I just want this to go for one day, or I could increase it to several days. On my own listings, I'll usually throw like $25 at it for 3 days. Okay, but I'm just going to do one day, $5. I'm going to reach between 380 and 1,000 people. Tracking events. If you have the Facebook pixel added to your kvCore website, you would do this. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. If you want to learn how to do it, you're just going to go to your kvCore dashboard, go into the learning portal, go to the support articles, search for Facebook pixel, and it'll teach you how to do it and what it is. But it's just not necessary. Make sure you have the right ad account selected and boost it and see if it works. So it's saving. You don't get charged till after it posts, after it runs. So it usually takes a minute and says save changes. So you're good. I just kind of wait. But that's how you do it. That's how you boost. Now, while that we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you how that looks in real life, like what happens. So I'm going to go back to my smart CRM. And I'm going to search for a specific hashtag. And I'm going to search. When I'm searching for a hashtag in the smart CRM, I can use the hashtag in this search area because it tells kvCore that I'm looking for a hashtag specifically. So I'm just going to do like Facebook buyer. I'm going to search for Facebook buyer. And so here's some of my leads with the Facebook buyer hashtag. I got a lot. So I got 526 of them right now. And so I can open this up and see that I got this lead, that when the lead came in, it came in with Facebook buyer. This was a lead I got for free, by the way. And I know that because I have my little hashtag community influencer. And whenever I'm going to post a squeeze page and just post it around in different groups I'm in Facebook, I put the hashtag community influencer and it comes in. So I know that I got that lead for free and it didn't boost it. They looked at this property and I can see what happened. I can see what hashtags were added. And I can see that the campaign Facebook buyer was added because that hashtag was there. And I can see all the campaign touches and the future campaign touches that are going to happen with that person. Okay. So anyway, that's how it's going to work. They are getting property alerts. They're on a campaign. I've also subscribed them manually to market reports, and that's what's going to work. I don't have a phone number. I do have an email in here that if you got my setup, you also have the same email, and the email is what's your phone number. So if I don't have a number, I have a template called what's your phone number. So if you got my setup, you have this. Okay. And it says something like, hey, do you have a real estate question? I want to help you with the real estate needs. You know, reply back with your best phone number, schedule a call, and then include signature and send. So ta-da. Okay. So just to see if they'll respond, like maybe I could talk to them. I don't know. Give it a shot if I don't have their phone number. So let's go back and see. So it's still saving. And usually it does this and I just let it happen. Okay. So it might do that for a while and it's fine. And then after a few minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, the ad will start running, or you'll get a notice that it was rejected for some reason and you got to fix it. But that doesn't happen very often for me. So that's boosting. Yes, Abel, you need a Facebook. Oh, do you need a Facebook business manager page? Okay, yes. So that's a good question. So what he's talking about business.facebook.com. What I'm going to recommend is if you don't have one yet, you're going to go to business.facebook.com and create an account, put your proper like payment methods there, your debit card, credit card, whatever. You can put like a set budget, like so that you're not spending any more than X amount of money per month or day or whatever. Then add your specific business pages that are associated with your account there. But I never create ads myself directly from the business manager. So it's nice to have this though, because if there is a problem with your ad, or, you know, this is where you can see if what's been rejected or not. And you can, you know, get support even, and, you know, you can appeal these decisions if something was rejected. You do that from here. And, you know, there's a lot you can do with this, but this is not like a Facebook ad class. It's more, you know, just for the regular people. But yes, have this. But you're just going to really update your account information here and keep it simple. If you're going to create a Facebook pixel, you'll be doing it from your business.facebook.com account as well. If you're going to be doing that, is it required? No. Can you still get leads without it? Absolutely. All right. So, but that's a great question. Hopefully now let's kind of just recap, and then we'll do our final segment. So we've talked about setting up your Facebook business page for success. We've talked about what a kvCore squeeze page is. We've talked about how to create a squeeze page and post it on Facebook. We talked about boosting on Facebook, but we didn't talk about why you shouldn't. And I guess all I want to mention is there's no reason you shouldn't, except that you can. I just want you to be aware, you can also get free leads by joining community groups, following the rules, being a good citizen on Facebook, all right, with groups and stuff, and sprinkling in your lead generating posts so you can get those free leads. And I do get a ton of them because I join groups and post my just listed type stuff in groups. So I just want to mention that. That's why you should or shouldn't, right? And I guess the other caveat is that, you know, we talk about you don't have to create an ad from your business manager account in Facebook. You can just boost the post like I did. It works like a charm. All right. And then finally, creating a custom campaign. Now, we already said what happens when you get a new lead who's looked at a property. Well, they're going to get the default buyer campaign. Or if we set a custom campaign and use that special hashtag Facebook buyer to trigger a custom campaign, they're going to get that campaign. Why might you want to use a custom campaign for this purpose, like Facebook buyer leads? Does anybody have any suggestions about why? Okay, more targeted to the buyer and where they're searching. Okay, well, not necessarily where they're searching, because they're going to get, even whether a custom campaign or not, they're going to get the new buyer campaign. They're going to get, hey, you're looking at this property. Cool. How can I help you? And then they're going to start getting search alerts, listings sent to them daily from the area they're looking at, to specifically identify where the lead came from. Well, you can, without a custom campaign, you can still identify where the lead came from with the hashtag of the address. So, and you can even put the hashtag Facebook buyer in there without having a custom campaign triggered, because that would show you that. If you're boosting, you can see where your marketing dollars are most effective. Yep, you can, but what about the campaign? When we're talking, remember, when we're talking about a campaign in kvCore, we're talking about the drip actions that happen after you get the lead. We're not talking about a advertising campaign. Okay, so, and Stacy said it's personalized. Yes, we're getting closer. It's easy to follow up. It's just as easy to follow up otherwise. We're on the right track with personalized. So, if you've ever read the book by Jeb Blunt called Fanatical Prospecting, he talks about like how many times you have to touch like a stranger in order to get them to like you, know you, trust you. He's like 27 times. Okay. And so with a custom campaign, one of the things that we can do is in that first email, in that first text message, we can say to them, hey, you clicked on a link that I posted on Facebook looking at this property, 123 Main Street. And now I'm reaching out to you because you did that. So it helps them remember, okay, yeah, I clicked on that on Facebook, and that's why I'm hearing from this person. And okay, I can accept that. So it kind of brings down people's walls, because they're like, yes, I clicked on a link on Facebook. I looked at that property, and that's why this person's contacting me. So it gets you to that point of creating that personalization, or that getting you to that familiarity quicker, possibly.
So it could help you convert that lead quicker. Okay, so that's why you might consider it. Do you have to do it? No. Okay, but I want to show you what you could do. And now I don't have time to teach you how to build a campaign. I've got lots of trainings on how to do it, but I am going to give you the instructions for how to do it, the step-by-step instructions. And so I'm going to kind of quick run through them. And I basically tell you how to build your own Facebook buyer campaign in kvCore, step-by-step, what to do, how to do it. I give you the first email to create, and even with the subject line, this is exactly what I have: about the property you viewed on Facebook, smiley face, and then the little message. And then you can do more. Then you can feel free to add text messages or other emails too that mention Facebook. Okay. And you're welcome to do that, but at least you get the idea of it here and how to set it up and how to make sure that the default buyer campaign doesn't also run, because you don't want two campaigns running at the same time. So you have to follow the full instructions to do it. So I'm going to make sure you have, this is your freebie. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put this in the chat now. If you go to my website, thesylviasystem.mykajabi.com, and you go to on-demand classes, you can get the full training about how to build this campaign, and it's like the most updated version. And if you go here to on-demand classes, you can sign up to get my free class bundle. By the way, I have a free class bundle. It's basically all the free classes that I'm offering that are not just on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel where you can get a ton of free stuff, but here's where you can get my free class bundle, part of my on-demand training, which is more edited and, you know, a little better quality and more to the point than my stuff on YouTube mostly. But I've got this custom campaign for $5. You can learn how to create and trigger a campaign with a squeeze page in kvCore. And so I teach you more about building that custom campaign and more about that in here. Okay, so you can get that. I also have my Genie in a Bottle start to finish kvCore training in this section, where it's just all the basics, like what do you do with kvCore? How do you set it up? How do you add contacts? What do you do with contacts? All that kind of stuff. And then I have my Summer Jam series, which I'm working on right now. We're doing live every Monday night, and you can sign up for those free. But then if you want to get the recordings, these are like the extras, like the other stuff you can do with kvCore beyond just using the thing basically. And so you can get them both in a bundle as well. If you don't want to get them separately, you can get them as a bundle. And so I just wanted to point you in that direction. If you scroll down, you can see snippets of my Genie in a Bottle series. You can view the playlist and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. I also have a new agent for a new EXP agent or a non-EXP agent if you're a new agent. And that all leads to my YouTube channel. And then I also just want to point out that if you want somebody to set up your kvCore, I do it. I have a team now that does it because I am a busy real estate agent, but I lead my team and they do my setup, and we're always upgrading it and changing it and making it the best it can be. And when we encounter problems with your site, we also submit support tickets to get it going. But you can order a kvCore setup here. It's $279 for the basic setup. I also have extras, add-ons. If you haven't had your setup from me in a while, but you have had a setup, and you just want the newest, latest, greatest, like maybe it's been 6 months, or maybe you're in a new MLS now, a new primary MLS, but you still have your same kvCore account. I also offer a free fresh service for $150. This is also where you can sign up for my free kvCore happy hours on Monday nights. More webinars I'll be adding here. And also any replays that I have will be here. I've only done one so far that has a replay, and then this one, and then I'll build a replay and I'll do more webinars like this. You can get my free kvCore DIY guide here, prospecting power hour here. Now I also have, if you learn about my kvCore setup service and you go into that section and to sign up to see that, and you look at more add-on packages, I have a Facebook setup that you could take advantage of it. So there you have it.